were mostly living in India previously. So Prabhupada said his spiritual master took us and brought us over to these various countries, Europe, Australia, America, and around the world, and placed us in certain strategic positions so that we could find Srila Prabhupada, surrender at his lotus feet, and spread Krishna consciousness. It was a really wonderful transcendental arrangement. I like to think that I was an old man in India, in Delhi, and Prabhupada was trying to sell his books, and I might have shown a little, I might have given a rupee or two. And so I got a blessing of taking birth in the West and becoming his disciple. Just imagine, there were, I think, maybe 5 or 6 billion people in the 70s on the planet, and only maybe 200 million Americans. And Prabhupada had about 2,500 American disciples, something like that, roughly. And I was one of them. It's inconceivable to have that kind of. I mean, Prabhupada's the 5th founder Acharya, right? Nimbarka Swami, Ramanuja, Madhava, and others. Prabhupada's the 5th founder Acharya. Prabhupada said this movement will go down in history for saving the world in its darkest hour. That's my spiritual master. That's the movement he began with nothing, no money, no friends. And now it's spreading all over the world. It's very exciting. If you go online, I go online to see what Prabhupada's doing. Prabhupada said, when I'm gone, listen for me. So sometimes Prabhupada's talking to you through a friend or in his books or in someone's lecture. So listen for Prabhupada. And you can see Prabhupada, by the way, in what he's doing all over the world. Do you see the young boys and girls dancing in Nigeria? I do. There's the devotees are dancing, and all naturally want to dance. Lord Chaitanya said, Ami Nartaka, I'm a dancer. What is this movement all about? Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nritya Gita. Everybody loves to dance. I just recently heard some criticism of our movement from devotees in the movement that we've become a kirtan movement. Like that's a bad thing. Yeah. Like, oh, there's sadhu sangha and all they do is kirtan. Oh, there's kirtan 50 in Dallas and all they do is kirtan. Well, that's the perfection of life. I hate to tell you. In other words, they're saying that we should be more philosophically motivated, but we are. We have classes at all these functions. Like in any temple, we have a class in the morning, and these functions, people love to come together. It's their spiritual vacation. It's their pilgrimage to dance. Have you ever been with 5,000 devotees after the kirtan, and they're all jumping and saying Jai Prabhupada? Oh my gosh, Hare Krishna. I get tears in my eyes. I'm dancing. I'm an old man. I'm trying to jump. I'm like a child trying to grasp the moon. I wrote something like that. Remember my paradoxical commandments? I had something. I don't know where it is now. Oh, here it is. Oh, here. I said, so I have another one. Or, like a child trying to jump and catch the moon, you may feel it is impossible to attain Krishna's shelter. Kick out impossible and seek the shelter of Radha and Krishna's lotus feet anyways. A project that is very dear to you may have come to a grinding halt. Without inspiration, you have become dejected. But with renewed vigor, pick up that project once again and try to please Krishna anyways. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So anyways, I get fired up and I start talking, but we should offer our respects to Prabhupada because we want to invoke his presence here. We want to say something that will bring us all closer to Krishna. What's the goal of our classes and our talks? That we can develop love for Krishna, Braj Prem. That's what we want. As I was saying just at the dinner table a few minutes ago, you can go anywhere in America and ask anybody outside of this movement, who is God? They don't have a clue. What would they say? You know what some of them say? Jesus. That's so foolish. He says, Father, forgive them. He's praying to the Father. He's not the Father. He says, the Father is greater than I. This is in their book. Do I know their book better than they do? Evidently, I do. Jesus, so many times, dozens of times, he's referred to as the Son of God. So he's the Son, he's not the Father. So they don't have a clue who the Father is. Now, if you don't know your Father, that's weird. But so many kids in America, they're all, how do you say? They're all low-class children because they're conceived in material consciousness, and I'll think of the term later. But anyways, they don't have fathers in their families. What a disaster this animalistic society is. So it's become normalized that they don't know who their father is. Are you a single mother? Yeah. You ask the kid, who's your father? I don't know. I've never met him. That's weird. You don't know who your father is. That's animal society. So, but the devotees know who the Father is. They know who the Supreme Lord is. For so many thousands of years, the acharyas, the professors of devotion, have been telling us. Krishna stu Bhagavan Swayam. That's what the devotee told me when I asked who is God back in Denver in 1971. And it was a great relief for me to be able to ask who is God and get a straight answer. Oh, and I just saw a clip from I guess you call him an influencer. He speaks about politics. He usually speaks some rather commonsensical perspectives. He's not like a crazy Trump person or something. But he said, get over it. There's no such thing as karma. Like, it's ridiculous to think there's karma. Like, most people will say, oh, that bad thing happened to me because of my karma. There's a sense that they know something about karma. But he says, no, there's no such thing as karma. Now try to understand what that means. That means nobody gets what they deserve. It's just a chaotic cosmos. And in addition, there's no soul and no God. So their worldview, there's no karma, there's no soul and no God. That means their worldview is that life is this flash of consciousness. We're born, we have to be educated, we get sick, we have to go all through these tribulations in life, and then we die. So life is this flash of frenetic activity between two oblivions of nothingness. We didn't exist before our birth, and we don't exist after our death. What a cruel thing to say. What a cruel thing to train people to think like that, this atheistic mentality. Prabhupada was a fighter. He wanted to defeat that kind of thought. That's Darwinian thought. That's atheistic thought. And as I say, most people understand that they're a soul, but there's very powerful propaganda that we're in fact not a soul. So I like to invoke Prabhupada's mercy. Now, I like to tell this story. These are Sanskrit prayers written by my godbrother, Kushakratadas. And he's written maybe 6 beautiful different prayers of maybe 8 stanzas each, glorifying Prabhupada. Jayapataka has also written at least 2 songs, beautiful songs, glorifying Prabhupada in Bengali. And these are in Sanskrit. Their verses are in Sanskrit. So I haven't read this one for a long time because it's very difficult. But I want to glorify Srila Prabhupada's disciple who wrote it. He deserves that we remember him because he was such a pure and elevated soul, so dear to Prabhupada. So that's why I like to read this. It glorifies Prabhupada and it glorifies his disciple. Now, his name was Kushakratadas, but he had a genius IQ. And you know how some geniuses are kind of, they're in another place because their minds are way high, where they're really beyond. So he didn't keep his things orderly. He came to the Boston Temple and sort of plopped his things in the hallway. When we had temples in the 70s, we'd have a big building, the girls would live in their rooms and the boys would live in their rooms. And he was eccentric, as we all might have our eccentricities, but he was eccentric. He just plopped his things in the front room. And so the devotees could not recognize how brilliant he was at the time. And they said, Prabhupada, can we ask him to leave. And Prabhupada said, I ask that you tolerate him as I tolerate you. So he turned out to be a Sanskrit editor, and he composed beautiful prayers to Prabhupada. Now, these are difficult for me, but we still want to glorify Kushakrata. They called him Crazy Peter before he was before he was initiated. He actually, Pushkar, my godbrother, who's the artist, who's did this book here, Pushkar, this book that you have, all the illustrations are Pushkars. So he actually went to school with Kushakrata. And one time, Pushkar got in trouble and he was in the office. And so he wanted to get in more trouble. So he started looking at the school records. He was so naughty. They were all in on cards at the time, no computers. And he looked at Kushakrata's IQ and it was like 183, something like that. Yeah, way up there. 157, 183 was way up there. Yeah, that's where it was. And he was like that. He was brilliant to learn Sanskrit nicely and to be able to be a Sanskrit editor for Prabhupada's books. What wonderful service. So if you'll please bear with me, some of the prayers I know quite well. These prayers I haven't read for a long time because they're difficult, but I wanted to read them tonight. And so we'll hear them together and we'll read the translations. So this is called Srila Prabhupada Dev Mahatmyastakam. And it's sung like the Gaurvastakam prayers in the morning. Atschyedyate, atschyedyatantisha kala kalesha. Kotya prakamam kala kalarahum. Kalam karalam karanena jasya. Namami tang Shri Prabhupada Devam. So I like that line very much. It means that he offers his respectful obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. Now he says that line in every verse, but I won't read that English in every verse. Okay. So the first verse translation is, I offer my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Because of his kindness, many millions of moons of the splendid glory of the Supreme Lord Krishna are now eclipsing the inauspicious, dark Rahu planet of the age of Kali. Is it beautiful? Is it beautiful poetry? All in Sanskrit. Beautiful. Padmeshvara Shri Pada Padmaraga Shri Padmaragdika Sampadam Draha Kate Daridhyabhya Ihaiva Loke Namami Tang Shri Prabhupada Devam. To the poverty-stricken souls in this world, he gave the great treasure of pure love for Lord Krishna. Jat Karmata Shri Kalakang Sahantri Padanta Kalara Kulesha Kelat Syat Kakaloke Kalahangsa Vridham Namami Tang Shri Prabhupada Devam. He transformed the crow-like materialists of this world into swans who sport among the lotus flowers of Lord Krishna's lotus feet. Janaradhaya Vininchireva Vyasyaya Jan Dharana Ahapraha Tadeva Nityang Harisa Shanangjo Namami Tang Shri Prabhupada Devam. Without adding or deleting anything, he purely repeated the same eternal instruction of Lord Krishna that Brahma spoke to Narada and Narada repeated to Vyas. Shri Krishna Chandram Rasamurti Mantang Shinam Nadang Bhagavatam Antuha Sandarshayanta Janata Anantang Namami Tang Shri Prabhupada Devam. In the holy name, he reveals to the people of the world the unlimited supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna Chandra, whose transcendental form is as sweet as nectar. Arama Adyo Ramate Sarama Sahasrapatre Janatasta Chatra Asara Sangsarata Anayantang Namami Tang Shri Prabhupada Devam. He leads the living entities from the bewildering world of repeated birth and death to the thousand-petaled lotus flower garden world, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead enjoys pastimes with his charming friends. Gopal Balo Bhagavan Paratma Raso Vilasiti Parang Rahasyang Braviti Tattva Gya Ihaiva Loke Namami Tang Shri Prabhupada Devam. I offer my, okay. To the people of this world who are unaware of the truth, he speaks the supreme secret of all knowledge. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is a playful cowherd boy whose form and personality are his sweetest nectar. Sadasad Acharang Acharantang. Shri Krishna Kit Kritim Pari Kritiyantang. Kripa Mayang Loka Paro Pakaram. Namami Tang Shri Prabhupada Devam. I offer my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He always acted as a perfect Vaishnava. He did the greatest kindness by preaching the glories of Lord Krishna in this world. Srila Prabhupada ki. Kushakranta Das ki. Isn't it nice? We should remember these very nice devotees now and again. It's very beautiful, the poetry, and I'll bet you not too many people are reading these. They do include them in the Vyas Puj homages. I have a collection of Prabhupada's Vyas Puj homages, like this book here. I think I have it from 72. At the time, they used to put the names of all the devotees at the temple in each offering, but they can't do that anymore because the movement's got so big. So I was given this book in Denver on my road trip by a very wonderful god sister of mine, Nidra Devi. She's always giving nectar to everyone. And I was looking through the book today at the colored pictures, and I saw this one here, and I realized that I made that garland. Yeah, I know. But not everybody knew it. So look at that. It's pretty fun when you see, oh, I made that garland. Now, how many years ago was that? It's 50 some years ago. 53 years ago. That was in 1972 at Prabhupada's Vyas Puj homage at the Bhagavat Dharma Discourses is September 2nd in New Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada ki. So the reason that I think Prabhupada kept this garland on is because there's a little story behind it. So when Prabhupada would come to town, there'd be 600 devotees there. They come from Toronto, they come from Miami, they come from all over. Every temple or traveling party had a garland for Prabhupada. And so this is his main lecture on his Vyas Puj day. And so everybody was giving garlands to Prabhupada. So they were piling up, you know, as you might imagine. And after some time, Prabhupada took them all off, except this one. Haribol! And the reason is this, is because I was a simple brahmachari, and I would make garlands for Radha Damodar. You know Radha Damodar deities in Gita Nagari now? Well, they used to travel with us. Radha Krishna, amazing. Traveling around the country on a bus. Radha Krishna is so merciful. Shishi Radha Damodar ki Jayate. So my job was to make their garlands every day. And every day, my budget was $0. Figure it out. So I had to go to the parks and people's homes and snip little flowers once here and there, whatever I could do. So that was I was doing every day. So for Prabhupada, what I did is I went down into the town. If you've been to New Vrindavan, the Moundsville is right down at the bottom of the hill, small town. So I went knocking on doors. I said, hi. I'm 19 years old, shaved head. I'm wearing a dhoti. Hi, how are you? Listen, it's my spiritual teacher's birthday tomorrow. Can I pick some of your marigolds? And I picked a lot of them. And this garland went all the way down to Prabhupada's feet. And I got some roses. And at the bottom, I somehow got an orchid. Very rare. How do you get an orchid? I got an orchid. I don't know how I got it. Maybe a devotee gave it to me. Maybe one of the people gave it to me. And at the bottom, I like to think that orchid was dusting Prabhupada's lotus feet and taking the dust from his lotus feet. That's a fortunate flower. Prabhupada said all these flowers make spiritual advancement. All the plants. Upaseva Bahumani. Prabhupada said, you cannot imagine the benefits of engaging in this Sankirtan movement. Prabhupada said that to us. Whether it's the cows giving milk or the flowers that we pick or the boga or the devotees who are directly engaged in pure devotional service, or the people who dance with us, even if they're making fun of us, like the crazy boys on the street. They're drunk or whatever they are, and we're banging drums, and the boys start dancing for whatever reason, and so they'll get credit for that. That's Lord Chaitanya's mercy. All over the world, people all over the world today, in Tokyo, Argentina, Nigeria, Israel, India. What to speak of India? I got a call from a brahmachari the other day, and there's some big festival going on. It looks like Janmashtami. And I go, where are you? And he said some little city somewhere, huge temple. It was like Janmashtami celebration. I said, what is it? A festival? He said, no, it's just Tuesday. What? And this is Prabhupada, you see. This is Prabhupada working his magic and rejuvenating India. India's Krishna consciousness that was very, very quiet and gray when Prabhupada came to America. It's not anymore. Something wonderful is happening. So I also, where's that? So I also made a prayer. I try my best to write. I have many prayers that I've written, but this is just for Prabhupada. I'm just trying to express my heart, and so I'll also try to invoke Prabhupada's mercy. My dear Lord Krishna, O Master of the three worlds, I cannot understand your unlimited potencies or transcendental opulences, but my heart melts with even a fractional understanding of your extreme mercy by the ever-flowing kindness of my Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. With my pea brain, I cannot understand the sweetness of your Braj Leelas, but I shall continue to meditate upon the beauty of your form as you enter the forest of Vrindavan with Balaram, your cowherd boyfriends, and the calves, until I someday develop a pinch of affection for the service of your lotus feet. When that day comes, I shall decorate it with roses, sandalwood, and flame. When will that day be mine? Srila Prabhupada ki. So Lord Chaitanya, he said, Lord Chaitanya, he was the transcendental embodiment of Krishna Prema. But what did he say? He said, I have no love for Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada also spoke of himself in extremely humble terms, that he was very unqualified. I can't even repeat what Prabhupada said because my heart will melt. How all the great souls, Rupa and Sanatan, Raghunath, how they thought they were so insignificant and unqualified, but they were the most significant and the most qualified. This is Lord Chaitanya's. These are Lord Chaitanya's words. Na prema shavanadi bhaktir aviva jugadava vaishnavo gyanam va shubha karma va kiyadaho sajitatir apyasti va. This is not Lord Chaitanya here in this verse, but it's Rupa Goswami emulating Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood. Hinar tadika sadake toyi tatepyach chela mulasati. Hey Gopi Jana Balaba yati yate hahamada shaivamam. Here's Gopi Jana Balaba. How do you love him? Do you love him? Yes. I want to love him too. You see those smoky eyes? He's tall, dark, and handsome. I want to love Krishna. And we all have an eternal relationship with Krishna. We may be a cowherd boy or a gopi or a mother of Krishna or an auntie or a this or a that or a cow even. All of these things. Well, we can't change our relationship. I can't sit here and say, oh, I want to be a gopi. It doesn't work like that. Everybody's, I want to be a gopi. Oh, it's the highest rasa. Who cares? Prabhupada says, whatever your rasa is with Krishna, you think nobody could be in a better position than me. And what's Radharani's mood? We're talking about Lord Chaitanya and his humility. You know what Radharani says? She says, I can't even say it. She says, I'm small, insignificant. Here, Krishna. And she brings a gopi to Krishna. She says, she's your real servant. This is Radharani. And Lord Chaitanya is similarly as humble. Although he is the embodiment. Do we remember some of his ecstatic emotions in Chaitanya Charitamrita? Yes. It's mystical. But he says he has no love for Krishna. Who's been to the Gambhir? Oh, you must go to the Gambhir. The Gambhir is Lord Chaitanya's room in Puri at Kashinath Mishra's house. Yes. So this is where Lord Chaitanya would be in at night, and he'd sometimes disappear from, and he'd sometimes go through all these ecstatic transformations. And yet he felt he had no love for Krishna. And similarly, the Acharyas, whether it's Bhakti Siddhanta or Prabhupada or the others, like Rupa Raghunath, they feel they have no love for Krishna. That's their humility. They're the ones who have real love for Krishna. We have to learn from it. Na prema shravanadi bhaktir says, I have no love for Krishna, and I don't have any interest in hearing about Krishna. But he says, still, oh beloved of the gopis. Hey gopi jana balaba, yati yate hahamara shaivamu. He says, still, oh beloved of the gopis, because you bestow your mercy on the most fallen, I have an unbreakable hope that is constantly in my heart. And that hope is always giving me pain. What is that hope? To develop love for Gopi Jana Ballabha, the lover and protector of the gopis. What kindness Prabhupada has shown us to give us Krishna. There's one material author. He says, I don't believe in a God who doesn't dance. In other words, their conception of God in the Christian tradition is some old man, broken down. His knees are giving him some trouble. He's got a long white beard because I guess he doesn't have any razor blades or whatever the problem is with this guy. And he sits on a throne all day and he curses people. You go to hell. You go to hell. You can come here and stay with me. You go to hell. You know, this is their conception in the Christian Judeo concept. How unfortunate. What kind of conception is that? No, Prabhupada's given us the real conception of God, how kind he is, and how lovely he is, and how he likes to dance, and how he'll embrace you as a friend. Like, what is it? How is it that in Bhagavatam, Sanat Kumar, Gopa Kumar returned back to Godhead? And what do you remember that scene? What happened?
He hugs, embraces.
Krishna is waiting there to hug you. I want to be hugged by Krishna. Everybody that wants to be hugged by Krishna, raise your hand. Me too. That's what we're here for. Krishna is our best friend. You may have been betrayed or disappointed by others in this life, but Krishna will never disappoint you. Krishna will never betray you. We've abandoned him, right? Like there's a breakup between two lovers. You broke up with me. Krishna didn't break up with us. We broke up with Krishna. We abandoned him. And in a spirit of full rebellion, we want to imitate him. Good luck with that. Good luck with that, being the big playboy in the material world. How's that working out for us? Krishna, did I tell you the story of the nun in Poland? Did I tell you that story? So there was a nun in Poland. You see, in America, in the 70s, there was a great anti-cult movement. How Prabhupada said actually it was good that they're recognizing us. But so it eventually went to Europe, this anti-cult movement, because the devotees are becoming visible and they're passing out books and the other religions don't like it. So this one nun, Catholicism is like a big deal over in Poland. So she was a Catholic nun and she took a case to court against the devotees. And her whole premise was that Krishna was immoral because he danced with so many girls, others' wives. And so when it came for the devotees' time to speak, he said, they call him sister. Sister, so you're a nun. Yes, I'm a nun. He said, very good. Could you recite your initiation vows to us? Right? Just like we take vows. And they also take vows. And it's everyone in the church hears it. And she wouldn't do it because she knew what's coming. They said, I'll read the vows. And in their vows, they say they're a bride of Christ. And the devotee said, wait a minute. Now, Krishna only had 108 gopis he danced with. Jesus must have 1,000,000 brides. And the judge said, you're right, dismissed. He threw out the case just like that, defeated with logic. You remember the story of Sakshi Gopal, how the Brahmin said, I'm sorry to bother you, my lord, but the old man made a promise in front of you and I wouldn't bother you. But he's made this promise. It'd be very bad for him if he doesn't follow through. So would you please come and witness the wedding? And Sakshi Gopal said, well, I'd like to, but I'm a deity. I can't go. I can't walk. And the young Brahmin said, if you can talk, you can walk. And Prabhupada said he defeated him with logic. This is the Supreme Lord that Prabhupada's introduced us to, who's kind and affectionate, and he's joking and he dances, and he'll embrace you. Although you're tiny and insignificant, how tiny are we? And he's the Supreme Lord. As one of my favorite verses in the Bhagavatam, Ahang Bhakta Paradino, Hyasvatantra Ivadvija, Sadhubir Grasta Hridiyo Bhaktir Bhakti Janapriya. And what does that mean? Krishna says, Ahang Bhakta Paradino. He says, I am the Supreme Lord. I am the fully independent Supreme Lord. He can do whatever he wants. But Krishna says, but I have no independence whatsoever when it comes to my loving devotees. Just like in Braj, when the ladies would dance like or clap like this, Krishna would dance like he's their puppet because he's controlled by love. Krishna is controlled by love. If you come to Krishna with pure devotion and you beg devotional benedictions that you simply want to serve, he cannot refuse. He has no independence in this regard when you approach him with pure love. So what a wonderful relationship that is. It sure beats our relationships in this material world, except with the devotees. Does anyone online have any questions? I don't know. You may or may not. I don't know. But
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu, for sharing. This
We
was
have
very
much
nice.
more to say, but do you have a question?
Prabhu, I was just wondering if you can share some, of your experience of book distribution to, let's say, those who maybe a particular faith, especially in the U.S., like who are, maybe so-called like kind of pious, religious Christians going to their church, regular Americans, and when we interact with them, either on book distribution or even otherwise at workplace or different other place, if you can give some some points or some guidance points how we can make them more favorable to Krishna consciousness, or people identify people like you who are looking for Krishna consciousness, and give them in a way which is palatable for them.
Well, thank you for that. Back in the 70s, there was there was a conscious. Is there a little water?
Yes.
I just need a little bit. There was a consciousness in the temples that if you sold a lot of books, you were a good devotee. And if you didn't sell very many books, you were a bad devotee. You were in Maya. But that's most unfortunate, because Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, he was pleased if a devotee made a sincere effort and sold even just a few books. So I was a very, I guess I was in Maya because I wasn't the greatest book distributor. But I was distributing books in the O'Hare Airport with Vaisheshika, Prabhu, and Tripurari, and Kavi Chandra, and all the big shots. I was a very small soldier, and they were Maharatis. So, but here's the thing, on distribute books, or distributebooks.com. Thanks. They have ideas for book distribution. And in my travels, there's two effective ways that I've seen the devotees somehow get on campus and they have a book table, and you're always going to interact with some interested souls there. Without a doubt, Prabhupada said one time, he was asked, why do you only attract young people? As if he was trying to cheat us. This old man was trying to cheat us. And Prabhupada said, because youth is the time for education. So these young people on the college campuses, there are some sincere souls there. So that's one way to get a table on a college campus. In Lubbock, Texas, I met Sarah, who is a tattoo artist, and she gives books away to the young people who come in her shop. And she's attracted maybe 10 Westerners, which is a big number in Lubbock, Texas, to the devotional get-togethers there. So if you stay in touch with me, I think I can give you some good suggestions. When I was in Little Rock, I got in touch with an old friend of mine who used to be in a prison. I distribute books in prisons. So we all have to find our venues, how to get books out. So for 35 years, I've been putting books into prisons. So this one former inmate who was in jail in a federal facility for smuggling lots and lots of cocaine, he is out now, but he's doing great service. He's got 2 food trucks. He distributes books on college campuses, and he's got a big team of devotees helping him. I want to talk to him and get some ideas. So if you would stay in touch with me, we can when I get back to my own place, I'll be talking to Sankirtan Jagyadas, and we'll get some ideas. In addition, at bookdistribution.com, you can get more ideas. I like to see books going out to Westerners, anybody really, of course, but Prabhupada came to America to attract some Western boys and girls. So we want to do that. So I think if we stay in touch, we can put together a few ideas.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Yes. Nagar Chandra has my number, so just get it from him. And please don't be shy about contacting me. I get calls from around the world. I just got a call from a small village outside GEV. GEV is in Vada, Maharashtra, outside Mumbai. It's the Govardhan Eco Village, and what a wonderful place it is. Many Westerners come for the spiritual atmosphere. And just not far away, there's a nice Gurukul. And so the boys are being trained very nicely there. So anyways, okay. So any other questions or? Yes. Oh, you're from that area. Oh, you know that area. Very good. You speak Marathi?
Yes.
Ah, Jaya. And Hindi.
Yes.
And English. I know like 5 Hindi words. Chapa, Pani, Acha, and maybe 2 others. I'm not sure. Jolly, what is it? Chole? Chole? You're smarter than I am. Chapa. Where's my chapal? Somebody stole my chapal. Oh, chai. I know chai. I've been to train stations. Very nice.
When was the last time you went to India, Prabhu?
2 years ago, because the last 2 times I went, I got fungal pneumonia. Fungal pneumonia is a 6-month cough, day and night, every 10 seconds. And it's very, very, I didn't eat 1 bite for 3 weeks, not 1 bite. I lost a lot of weight. And I missed both my flights. I was in the Dum Dum airport and I was so sick. And you have to go through the first line to get in, which you don't have to do in America. So you have to go through the first line, then you get into the ticket line. And I almost had my boarding pass. I just wanted that boarding pass like it was a treasure. And all of a sudden, I'm looking up at people. I'm on the floor and there's all people looking at me. And I go, I said, I had to think quick. I said, oh, I just lost my balance. And he said, no, sir. I said, no, I want to get my boarding ticket. He said, no, sir. And he took a picture of me and he showed it to me. And I had blood all going down my face and all down my shirt. And I still have a scar here because I had fainted right into the floor, bam. So I wasn't going to catch my flight. So they threw me out of the airport. Had to go to a hospital. Oh my God. Fungal pneumonia is very difficult. So I was going to India every year since 2012, sometimes twice a year. I was traveling around, going to prisons, going to temples, going to the base camps for the college boys. It's like a dormitory for Krishna conscious boys. It was great fun. And I took such pleasure in traveling around. It's very difficult for an older man. It's very difficult. The problem with traveling is that you have to travel. What's Chandrasekhar says something about traveling makes a man older than he is. So I will go in October if Krishna somehow arranges things. I like to go from Mumbai and Pune, Kolhapur, GEV. I'll go to your place, whoever's there. I'll go wherever you're, Pam. And I go up the line to Nasik and Parbhani and Jalna, and I call it Gaurangabad, and on to Vrindavan. So that's what I'll do. I like to go that route and go to Vrindavan and Jaipur. There's a story I have. I was in Jaipur and I went with my brahmachari friends. So they're Indian boys. So we're living in Jaipur. Every day we go to the temple to see Radha Govinda. So as an American, I'm dancing. It's a little conspicuous, right? Because I'm doing like, this. And so every day I'm there dancing and chanting Jai Radhe Govinda. So it was the last day there. This is our last darshan. We were going to leave. So all of a sudden, this pujari comes out from behind the altar. He's carrying something. And he starts talking to my friend in Hindi. And my friend says, he wants to give you this. I said, what is it? He says, it's an outfit from Radha Govinda. He says, he said he didn't know why he was doing it. He says he never does it. But that Radha Govinda said, give to him. So it's Rupa Goswami's own deities, Radha Govinda. So that's the kind of magic that happens in India. There's other magics that happen, many magics. If you go and you're making some sacrifice to travel, to go to the holy places, and to it's just like I was praying this morning before japa, I was praying, please Krishna, pluck out the sinful desire seeds from my heart and kindly clear the trash from my mind so that I can chant with love. So we have these sinful desire sinful desire seeds, to imitate Krishna. That's rebellion. You want to be like Krishna. You want it all. Kama doesn't just mean like sexual desire. It means I want everything. I want gold. I want the world. I said in a prayer to Prabhupada one time, I said, before I met you, I was hungry for knowledge, but instead I ate the world. Because I wanted everything. Everybody does in the material world. What are they running around for on I-40? What are the streets so busy for? Here it's this little peaceful little place, but everybody's running around like crazy all over the place. I mean, I was in a hotel last night. It's right next to the freeway. All night long, trucks, boom, zoom, 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 zoom. Cars, zoom, 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 zoom. You got up in the middle of the night, there's all kinds of things going on. Why? Prabhupada used to make that sound, zoom, 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 zoom. Why? What's this frenetic pace all about? So I want everything. You want money. What does money mean? It means power. It means I can have sense gratification. I can have a place. I can have comforts. I want to have facility to waste my time and watch cricket or some other nonsense. Oh, I'm sorry. Or read Stephen King's scary novels, or James Patterson. The most prolific author of all time is Prabhupada. Did you know? That's 880 million books in over 100 languages. Nobody knows that except devotees. But the biggest selling material author is James Patterson, not Stephen King and not Rawlings. So he writes mysteries. So people like his writing for whatever reason. But when I read fiction, if I pick up a book and I read it, I can just hear the guy going like this. In other words, it's all nonsense. It's just typed stuff coming from his head. And it's a mystery about, oh, and they found out it was the cop who committed the murder. Who cares? You understand? In other words, they make up this silly plot line and they decorate it with all kinds of, language and this, but it's just fiction. It's just, you go to a library and it's just rows and rows of fiction, made up nonsense. Everybody's just sitting at their computers going clickety, clickety, clackety, clackety. And romance novels, don't get me going. Oh, all that crazy stuff. Everybody wants it. We all want love of Krishna, but we think we're going to find it here, here, or here, in gold or romance or. You know what people are doing tonight? They're bowling. They're throwing a ball down the lane like this. Woo! They're trying to knock down some pins. That's a big deal. And not only that, but when I was coming I-40 toward Memphis, and the first building you see is this huge casino. If you're coming eastbound on 40, before you get to the Memphis skyline, just in West Memphis, it's a hotel casino. And I'm thinking, these fools don't know that their money built this place. And I say, why do you gamble? He said, well, it's entertainment. They go there to lose their money. And they think it's fun. Ding, 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 bong, bong, bong. Lights going on and off. And this is the material world. They have to take what they can find for happiness. What is it? Bread and circuses. You know how much people love to eat? Everything's centered around eating. The tongue is the most voracious and difficult to control. They eat nonsense things, and they eat things that are not prasadam. So when you do that, Krishna says they're just lumps of sin. They're actually putting lumps of sin in their body because there's no gratitude. If you take something without gratitude, that's called theft. And we're taking Krishna's products that he gives us, and we're not thanking him. You know how they eat? You know how they go to McDonald's? They eat like dogs. No prayer, no gratitude. Everybody's eating like dogs. You know how a dog just attacks a bowl of food? Any prayer? Actually, sometimes they teach a dog to bow down. I think that's really cute. Say your prayers, and the dog goes like this. Or you might get a teenage boy that'll say, rub it up, dub. Thanks for the grub. Yay, God. That's better than nothing. You have to be grateful to Krishna. You take things, you have to be grateful. We're taking everything. We're taking sunshine, air, food, everything. So everything, all our debts are paid when we do our best to serve Krishna. When sadhus meet, they say, how's your sadhana? And that means, how are your rounds? How are you chanting strong rounds? If you're not, you should try to. Just like I tried to chant. I've written somewhere here. I don't know where it is. Here. I've written 108 prayers to my mala, begging Nam Kripa. In other words, Tulsi and Nam, they're closely related. I'll just read like 4 or 5 of them. My dear mala. See, this is following in the footsteps of acharyas. I have other prayers by acharyas who make prayers to their mala. In other words, you're begging Nam Kripa. That's what you're doing. You're begging the mercy of Krishna in the form of his holy name to please appear. Actually, the chanting happens within the heart. You okay? You all right? All right. Well, get comfortable. My dear mala, kindly help me to forget my fallen past and revive my innocence, right? I want to be like a child again. There's only 3 reasons people are in prison. There's only 3 reasons. What do you think those reasons are? Got one?
Greed.
Excellent. That's 1.
Desire. Lust, desire.
Yes. 2. And anger. 3 reasons. Huh? Right. What did you say online?
Kama, Krodh, Lobh.
Thank you very much. Lust, anger, and greed. It's the only reasons. All kinds of varieties of crimes under those categories. Anger. People will snap. They'll snap, and they'll hit somebody hard with something. They'll strike them, and it's either a murder or attempted murder, something like that. Aggravated assault. And greed. There's all kinds of. Everybody wants gold. Greed means they want currency, cash. Help revive my innocence. You have the power to lift me up. I'm praying to Krishna, his holy name. People may consider me crazy praying to my beads, but Lord Krishna and his paraphernalia of devotional service are non-different. Such is the absolute nature of Parabrahman. O Mala, for me you are Krishna. Krishna, his seva, entourage, and paraphernalia are non-different. You are a powerful and blissful resource connecting me with the Supreme Absolute. So anyways, I have 108 prayers to my Mala. There's other prayers I say before I begin my chanting. I pray to Prabhupada. I have several prayers I say to Prabhupada. And we should have prayers that we know to Lord Chaitanya. You should know at least 5 prayers, memorized verses to Lord Chaitanya. I mean, after all, he's the incarnation for this age. He delivered Prem Nam. And to honor him, we should know at least 5 verses. I know at least 5, maybe 10 or 15, maybe more, I'm not sure. But you can find those prayers at the beginning of each chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So you should find some prayers honoring Lord Chaitanya and say them every morning. You'll know them in no time. Just like there's 12 names of Lord Nityananda. Nityanando, Avadityandur, Vasudha Pranabalaba, Jana Vijivita, Pati Krishna Prada, Prabhu, Padmavati Sudha, Srimad Sachinandana, Purvaja, Pavomato, Jagatrata, Rata, Gorka Levada, Sinatinanda, Chandrasya Nama, Dwadasukam, Subhamidam, Idam, Uttamam, like that. So anyways, there's these 12 names of Lord Nityananda, and we honor Lord Nityananda in this way. In other words, we're begging for the mercy of the spiritual master and Gaur Nitai and Radha and Krishna before we begin chanting our japa. There's two prominent, I'll read these 2 prominent prayers that I say in the morning. Actually, they're kind of long. We're kind of getting late. It's 10 after 8. How long do we go? How long should we go?
I'm okay, Prabhuji. If you can continue, that'll be fine with me.
Okay, very good. I'll tell you what, I'll read these prayers because I think we should all beg Nam Kripa before we begin our japa sessions so that we can value the sound of the holy name. Prabhupada said just chant and try to hear yourself chant the holy name sincerely. You know, when you say someone you love, you say their name, you say it with affection, don't you? Yes, that's how we're supposed to say Krishna clearly. And like I like to say, we're not chanting so that we can see colors and have namruchi. We're not chanting for taste. Oh, people say, oh, I don't have any taste. That's not why we chant. We chant to please Lord Chaitanya. That will keep us steady. That's why I've been chanting for 55 years. What did we hear today? Prabhu was in New York City hearing a lecture, and the fellow who was giving the lecture said, Prabhupada said that how long does it take to realize Krishna fully, Bhagavan, face to face? 40 years. I've also heard the same thing. And it was said by Charu, I believe, and when he was in Australia. So I'm not in my own place now, but I have that written down. So I heard the same thing he heard. So we've read the same thing. So 40 years, you could say, oh, that's a long time. But for me, that was like 15 years ago. Haribol. You understand? So I've been doing this 55 years since I was 19 years old. And now I'm 38. So I'm getting up there, in age. What's he laughing about? They say, you look a lot older than 38. One time, Mark Twain he said, oh, you look so young. He said, no, I look my age. Other people my age look older than they are. Because of bad habits. So I'll read these prayers. They're very nice. They give you a sense. Okay, so Shri Namal Grahana Mantra, Avignam Kudamalitwang, Harinam Japeshu Cha, Shri Radha Krishnayor Dasyam Dehimaletu Prartaye, Nam Chintani Rupam, Namaiva Paramagati, Namna Paratarang Nasti, Tasma Nam Upasmehe. And it goes on like that very beautifully. So I'll read the translations. O Mala, please destroy inauspiciousness in my chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna, and grant me the position of service to Sri Sri Kishore and Kishori. The holy name is a beautiful transcendental touchstone. It is the supreme goal. There's nothing higher than the holy name. I therefore worship the holy name. The holy name is the highest. The sacrifice of the name is the highest yajna, which destroys the contamination of Kali Yuga. in order to please Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I offer this sacrifice of the holy name. So in this way, you're invoking the mercy of the holy name. Oh, there's more to it, but I'll keep it simple. But then I like these very much. And this is Haridas Thakur begging Nam Kripa from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krip Kori Nam Rupi Amarji Vai Narantar Nach Prabhu Dari Tabapai. Raka in Halau Tanhan Tavichamat Janhan Raka Dehamari Krishna Namamrit. Jagajani Nam Dite Tavavatar Jagajanamaji Bori Kori Yangikar. Amitadam Tumi Adamatarana Ubi Sambana E Padit Pavana Achitya Sambana E Tomayamai Jarbali Namarit E Adamachai. O Lord Guranga, be merciful and appear in my tongue in your holy name. Dance there constantly, O Lord Goranatharaj. I fall at your lotus feet and beg you. You may keep me in this world and take me to your abode as you please, but whatever you do with me, kindly feed me the divine nectar of the holy names. You have descended to this world to distribute the holy names, so kindly also consider me one of those you intended to bless. I am the most lowly, whereas you are committed to the upliftment of the lost. This is our eternal relationship, O Savior of the fallen, O Patit Pavanadev. On the strength of this unbreakable connection between us, O Lord Gaurachandra, I beg you to shower me with the nectar of the holy names. Please shower me with the nectar of the holy names. That's the last thing I say before I begin my japa. Every day. It takes 10, 15 minutes, whatever it is, but I say these series of prayers. Most I didn't read. But it's important, whatever you do, to beg the holy name, the mercy of the holy names. The most important things I like to talk about is Srila Prabhupada and the holy names. I have something here I don't think I've shown you. I'd like to show you one of your godbrothers. Do you like to see him? Here he is. A good-looking fellow. So I met this fellow in 2002. You know him?
Is this the one you're talking about in the photo?
Yeah, in Little Rock. Yeah, that's right. So I have to tell the rest. So here he is. He saw an ad of mine for books on yoga, and so he wrote to me. That was, I think, in 2002, and so we'd been writing for a long time. He also has a very high IQ. He's not a foolish person. I mean, he's very high IQ. He's an intelligent guy. So he read Prabhupada's books, and he became a devotee. So he wrote. This is an excerpt of one of his letters. He says to me in his letter, he says, "You are quite right. A miracle has indeed taken place in my life. When we first began to correspond, I was very much a hate-filled white supremacist gangster. As a reminder, all you have to do is look at the 8x10 photo with my tattoos and prison stripes. The hatred boils right out of my eyes. But by the mercy of Krishna, Prabhupada, you, and all of ISKCON prison ministry, I am a changed person. I am now your menial servant who aspires to one day become a devotee. Lord Sri Nityananda's mercy is very unlimited. He accepted me before I even realized who I was or what I needed. And what to say of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the savior of the most fallen. I believe the whole process is called Cheto Darpana Marjanam, which is the process of devotional service. Where is the difficulty? It is such a simple process. He was initiated by Vaisheshika Maharaj Balavan Nitai Das. Haribo! Yeah, see how he changed? He's a proper brahmachari. Haribo! He was a white supremacist. That means he hates Mexicans, he hates blacks, he hates Indians, anybody who's not white, because he's that kind of a gang. So he left that gang, and if you do that, they will kill you. And there's people who are in prison who just kill you if they can get at you. And so he did that with great risk to his life. But he's very smart. Now I like to read this. This is from a Bhaktin, a female inmate. I don't write too many female inmates. Somehow or other they think yoga is about the body, and when I say no, it's about loving God, they don't write me back. So she says to me, I made my bead from paper, floor wax, and homemade paint. There are 108 beads with a head bead, and the beads are brown with the turquoise head bead. It took 6 hours a day for 9 days to make them. I tore up a sheet and sewed a drawstring bag to keep them in. She made her bead bag with a sheet. A Muslim friend gave me a beautiful sheer white veil I washed and prayed over, which I wear as I chant my 16 rounds, beginning at 4 in the morning. Srila Prabhupada ki. Even in prison with all kinds of difficult conditions, they're chanting their rounds. It's not easy. And we'll hear a little bit about Prabhupada. As I said before, Srila Prabhupada's the 5th founder Acharya of the Iron Age. Nobody's ever done what Prabhupada's done. The Acharyas formerly spread Krishna consciousness in India, but Prabhupada spread it all over the world. This will go down in history. It's unheard of. It's the first, religious historians note now, today, scholars note that this Indian tradition, an ancient Indian tradition, has left the East and gone to the West and spread all over the world. That's never happened before. Before, it was always Christians going to different places and trying to convert people or kill them. The Muslims would kill you if you didn't convert or whatever. But we don't do that. We just chant and dance. Chant and dance. And you're a devotee. Prabhupada said, remember that you cannot imagine the benefits of engaging in this Sankirtan movement. Prabhupada said, our philosophy is practical. Practical means application. If it is simply theory, it has no value. Prabhupada said, don't try, just do it. Prabhupada said, my wife and son did not help. My godbrothers did not help. I am working alone. My Guru Maharaj is my only hope. One time Prabhupada said, I'm the only son of my Guru, all other daughters. Why? He said, because the son takes on the business of the father, and the ladies stay back at home in Vedic culture. So he said his godbrothers were just staying in the temples, having a little kirtan, taking kitri, and going to sleep in the afternoon. But Prabhupada wanted people to get up and out and go teach. And they had some objections. The anti-cult people who would attack us, they said, oh, you're sleep deprived. Prabhupada said, yes, I hate to sleep. It's a waste of time. He said, oh, you chant Hare Krishna over and over again. Prabhupada said, what business of it is yours, what I do with my life? Who are you, some complaining nonsense? Leave me alone. Go do whatever it is you do. What business is it of yours, what I do? Such foolish people. You brainwash people. Prabhupada said, you've got cow dung for brains. You need to be brainwashed. He said, all their objections are childish. All their objections are childish. You don't sleep enough. Well, you hate to sleep. Just like when I'm healthy, I never sleep in the afternoon. I mean, a lot of people do. I don't, because I like to stay busy. Why would I want to take a nap in the afternoon? It doesn't make sense. Wake up. Oh, sorry. Oh. No, you can sleep how much you need. But I'm saying, like in my case, I don't have a job. Okay. So I get up quite early, between 3 and 3:30, and I go all day long until 8:30 or 9, usually. So when you go to bed, you fall asleep. You've been busy all day and no problem sleeping. But when you take a nap in the afternoon, sometimes it's very difficult. You're up at 11 trying to sleep and you're just wide awake, trying to fall asleep. So Prabhupada took up the business of his Guru Maharaj. Prabhupada's godbrothers thought that this Lord Chaitanya's mission will spread to every town and village was simply poetry. They thought it was metaphor. Maybe it would go around India a little bit, but no. You can go to the smallest villages all over the world. In America, all over these little towns that I go to, there's devotee communities. Everywhere.
Tennessee.
Huh?
Jackson, Tennessee.
Jackson, Tennessee. Yeah, this little village. And then they got this farm out by Chattanooga. I mean, so Prabhupada's potency is spreading everywhere. It's very exciting. It means love for Krishna love for Krishna spreading. And that's the goal of life. And more people, when there's any disturbance in society, whether it's financial or civil or war or whatever, then the people will come to our farms. People will come to our farms. So the situation is very tenuous. I hate to tell you about that, but might not be living in this big, beautiful house for long. No, did I say that? I'm sorry. But if there is because the financial situation is very tenuous, devotees have written books. I mean, if China dumps its U.S. debt, we're in trouble. Like they say, if we stop spending money we don't have on things we don't need, we're finished. Keeping up with me? And it's all paper. It's all nonsense. I've got a book by Sahadev. He's an accountant and a financial analyst. And he's written this book. Just the whole financial system is so artificial. And so Americans' dollar is not becoming valuable because the BRICS nations are developing their own currencies. So it's very tenuous. I mean, Trump's such an idiot. He's attacking everybody. I love to. When somebody's evil, you can protest that evil. Prabhupada said so. He said it's our duty to protest against these people, and he mentioned Nixon. So if Brahmins, we should protest against their evil, killing people. Oh, they're so terrible. Oh, don't get me going. I'll just read one more thing. It says here, in Mayapur, in a class, Prabhupada said that all four great acharyas made some contribution to Mayapur, and so was he with the help of his disciples. And he became choked up and he could not continue to speak because of his gratitude to his disciples. I was there in Chicago when Prabhupada also was choked up based on what he was speaking about in the lecture. I think it was about Ajamila and the mercy of Krishna on the sinner and how he was saved from sinful reaction because he called out the Lord's name. So Prabhupada asked the devotee, so is the devotee simple or is he crooked? Simple, Prabhupada. No, Prabhupada said, I was crooked. I cheated all of you. I tricked you all. I said, just come chant, dance, and feast. But then you have to do the disciplines too, right? The disciplines come right after the chant, dance, and feasting. Like I tell my guys in prison, I say, there's no peace of mind. Everybody wants peace of mind. They'll write me a letter, say, I'm unhappy, I'm miserable. I have no peace. I want peace. I need peace. Will yoga bring me peace? And I said, there's no peace without purity. There's no purity without discipline. There's no discipline without the four regulative principles. You have to stop sinning and pluck the sinful desire seeds from your heart. Then your mind will be peaceful. Then you'll be innocent like a child again. Wouldn't it be nice to be like a child again? Their pure frame of mind. To look everywhere in the world, just childlike. So Jesus also said you have to become like a child again. You have to become pure like a child. And that's possible by the mercy of the holy names. The holy names can save you from the fear of death. Can award all fearlessness. The holy names, I read this before, but I'll just read a few of them again. Like I have this whole folder here. This whole folder. You see the list here, lists. There's big lists. It's the next page. It's not the same thing. It's different. More lists. Anyways, it's all the things that chanting Hare Krishna does. So I'll just read a few of them. I'll start here. Oh, chanting Hare Krishna fixes one in practical samadhi. That's just like you're working, but you're fixed on Krishna. Just like ladies in India, they go and they balance the pots on their heads. They're not even thinking about it. So that's practical concentration. Well, a devotee does the same thing. He works, but he's always thinking of Krishna. Chanting Hare Krishna cools the feverish brain. And if your brain isn't feverish, congratulations. Because everybody in this world, their brain is feverish. They're worried about health. They're worried about relationships. Samsara dava nala lidha loka. It's a It's trying to be happy in this material world is like a clown dancing in a forest fire. There's only two kinds of happy people in this world, the fool and the devotee. If you're happy and you're not a devotee, you're an idiot. You don't know what's going on. And they make all kinds of mental adjustments to try to just exist without going mad in this world. Just like neuroses and psychoses and all kinds of phobias and apprehensions are afflicting so many people because they're operating in material consciousness. You cannot be peaceful unless you're Krishna conscious. There's no peace without purity, no purity without discipline, no discipline without avoiding sin. Chanting Hare Krishna directs the soul to his or her original flavor of rasa. Just like there's all kinds of gopis, just like there's all kinds of cowherd boys. They're not all just the same. And there's aunties of Krishna, and there's Krishna has a father, like so many things. So there's all these different flavors of rasa. And each devotee thinks nobody could be happier than me. I have the supreme position here in Goloka. I'm so happy with how I relate with Krishna. There's all kinds of gopis. What kinds of gopis are there? Manjaris. There's
Motherly gopis.
huh?
Motherly gopis.
Motherly gopis. Gopis Krishna dances with. Some are very cool-headed. They can't get angry at Krishna, but others get angry at Krishna. They said, we don't like the way you're treating Radharani. Oh, stop it. Radharani will get angry at Krishna and throw out everything black out of her room. So I don't even like my hair because it's black. It reminds me of Shyam. Chanting Hare Krishna connects you with Krishna. Just like Prabhupada said, there's no difference between thinking of Krishna, which is the goal of life, and chanting Hare Krishna. If you just chant, you're thinking of Krishna, which is the goal of life, and which means love of Krishna. You have to practice chanting Hare Krishna, not to seek. One time a devotee said, Srila Prabhupada, when I chant, I see colors. Prabhupada said, very good, keep chanting and it'll go away. We don't chant to see colors. We don't chant to get, goosebumps and bliss like we're on some drug. We chant to please Lord Chaitanya. And if you do that with some desperation, because we chant like a child calling for his mother, and some helplessness like that. Oh, and some precision chanting, saying Krishna very clearly. Like you've heard some devotees, Prabhupada said, not like this, but he's not like that, Prabhupada says. No, Hare Krishna. It's such a beautiful name. One time I was working in a college, and this girl saw my BTG magazine, and she said, what's that? She wanted to know what was on the cover, but I didn't worry about that. I said, it's the magazine of the Hare Krishna movement. And she goes like into samadhi. She goes like this. Oh, Krishna. Krishna, that's a beautiful name. I'm like, wow, So she felt the potency of Krishna just like that. And everybody, there's no name quite like Krishna. It's 3 times more powerful than Rama, 1,000 times more powerful than Vishnu. Krishna. And we say it how many times? Well, we say the mantra 1,728 times, means 25,000 names. So Krishna is 1/3 of those names. Every morning. Krishna, Krishna. Chanting Hare Krishna breaks the chains of 10 million prisoners. It means all over the world, people are chanting Hare Krishna, and they're becoming free through sound, like Vedanta says. Anuvriti Shabda means one becomes free through sound. What's that sound? The knowledge of Vedanta, the sound of the holy names, the words of the spiritual master. Okay, so it's late. Howdy bol. We have so many things we can say, but if you want to stay up until midnight, I'm ready to go. What do you think? Or do you have to go home? That's all right. That's all right. I'm glad I got to be here. My road trip started here and it ended here. And I began this leg of the trip before Christmas. I was here. And I cannot tell you Yeah, here. I was here sitting here talking to people. Where were you? Anyways. But it was a wonderful road trip because I met new friends. I'd never met you before. I've seen old friends, and along the way I've made new friends and I've seen old friends. So that's the privilege of, if you're like a wandering mendicant like me, to see my spiritual family. It was a wonderful road trip. You know what happened today? I was driving, and driving is very dangerous. And this piece of big wood, fell off a truck right in front of me. And the wood's going like this, like in slow motion. Bow, 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 bow. And it flew over my car. If that went into my windshield, it could have killed me just like that. And these things, just living in this world, things are dangerous. So if you're on the road all the time, and I'm driving on the road, all the guardrails on the sides, they're just all demolished. I mean, somebody fell asleep and they just took out a whole guardrail, like 50 yards of guardrail. I mean, it was everywhere. I mean, and the car goes into the ditch. If you're driving, you see all this, and it's very dangerous. So this is some of what Prabhupada would speak about, of this crazy. Prabhupada we used to say breakneck speeds, but Prabhupada changed it to neck break speeds. Neck break, you break your neck at these speeds. It's very dangerous driving in country roads, 2 lanes, because if you go over the center line, oh my God. So, and the speeds are 75 miles an hour, and you have people coming out from driveways and roads. It's a very dangerous world. It's a very dangerous world. And if you ladies pray for my safety, I'll be okay. The men, not so much. But the ladies have a connection with Krishna, right? Yeah, they do. Prabhupada said, whenever there's a religious function, you'll see many ladies. Haribol. And that's who would come to his pandals in Cross Maidan and Mumbai and everywhere else. The ladies have a natural propensity to depend on Krishna, love Krishna. And so the men can learn from that. Men and ladies both have their good qualities, and we need to help each other grow closer to Krishna. Love Krishna. They can pray with feeling, and we have to learn that. Okay, is everything okay, guys? Anybody have any corrections or comments or criticisms?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very grateful to you for
Thank you.
sharing. Thank you very much.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you so much. I'm glad to be a part of this spiritual family here in Jackson, Tennessee. Okay.
Thank you to Prabhuji for the wonderful discussion and points that he mentioned. But I'll stop the call right now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mancha Kalpatarusha Kripasanave, Kapatlanam Bhavadivave, Navyo Namo Namaha.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ooh, it's warm. Yes, you're very welcome. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Your prayers and verses.
Yeah, we try to mix it up. We could go till midnight. We got a lot to say about Prabhupada, but thank you very much for allowing me to be here and being part of my spiritual family. For 55 years, I've taken great pleasure in my spiritual family. In the 70s, we'd have to wait all week for some guests to come to the temple. We didn't have anybody in home programs. So it's nice to see the movement growing. And it's nice to be a part of my spiritual family. A lot of my godbrothers have already gone back to Godhead, but Prabhupada's keeping us, some of us here. And I especially like seeing what Prabhupada's doing around the world. And it's been my life for 55 years. Like I said, I had no college education. It really wasn't for me. So I had a Brahminical education in Prabhupada's ISKCON. And so that was my path. I'm a teacher, but teaching's heartbreaking work. If you're a teacher, you'll know what I'm talking about. I hope to return. I hope to come back with my friend Gayatri, who's actually a world-class Kirtaniya. He's my age. He's also retired. But he can lead kirtans. He's been leading kirtans for again 50 years. He never met Prabhupada because they kept him out on book distribution. He was very first class. He was a big book distributor, #1 in the world for some time, which was a big deal because there were a lot of good book distributors back then. All right. Thank you very much, Prabhu. I'm happy to see you. You're all welcome to stay in touch with me. I like to hear good news. Say hello. I get a few calls once in a while from nice devotees around the world, and like to hear what's going on.
So you are based in Nashville?
We're based in South Central Tennessee, below Nashville. There's actually 4 farms down there now. Murari Sevak, another farm called Murari Sanctuary, our place called Vrindavan Forest, and we've just been officially accepted in ISKCON like last week. And there's the Krishna Life Boys, who have 600 acres. I'll be going to tomorrow in above Chattanooga. They're all close. They're all within an hour of each other. So somehow or other, farms, wannabe farms are developing. And I think it's Krishna's indication that we have to have these places ready for when there is an emergency in society, people can come. A farm doesn't mean people in the country growing lettuce. A farm means you're plowing with oxen and you're growing beans and grains, because a community starts to death eating spinach and carrots. You have to have beans and grains and rice. You know, rice doesn't have to grow in a paddy. It can grow right out of the ground. There's 16,000 varieties of rice, and the Mennonites grow rice right out of the ground, like it's corn or beans or anything else. You can grow fava beans, mung beans, chickpeas, every kind of bean. You need those items, right? Try to make khichdi with just a carrot. Everybody's going to die. So that's what I'm encouraging the boys to do in the farm. They already understand that. They know what they're doing. So we have to get oxen. It's a whole science how to get baby oxen and train them up from a young age.
Yeah.
But Prabhupada said millions of people will come to our farms. So far in America, since Prabhupada was on the planet, we've never had any ISKCON farms. They're just people living in the country. New Vrindavan is not a farm. They don't grow anything there. They have a few cows. I know, I used to live there. If you did not agree, they might have a garden. But you don't live on a little garden. Actually, they might have a little garden, a couple cows. Prabhupada told us, he was in Atlanta in Piedmont Park, and he walked up the hill and he saw the buildings. He took his cane and he went like this, they will all starve. Prabhupada said that. And he turned to his men and he said, you know why? And nobody knew until Tamal Krishna Goswami said, because they don't know how to grow their own food, Srila Prabhupada, yeah. So it isn't just school, and it isn't just living in big, fancy houses. You better have a plan B. Because the financial situation is very tenuous. The civil situation is tenuous. And the world situation is tenuous. But China is very upset with what we've done in Venezuela. They could attack Venezuela because they had interest there. Or they could attack Taiwan or do whatever it is they want to do. And we're gonna attack Greenland? What, have we lost our minds? You know, we're just insane. It's just insane. We'll have all of our allies sending bombers to kill our people in Greenland. It's just a crazy situation. It could hardly get crazier. I'm glad I'm not raising my kids anymore. I ain't got that. I haven't got those worries. You're on your own. Good luck.
Good luck.
You should have plan B. Nobody ever listens to me, but you should have plan B.